I know, the lighting looks a bit dramatic. Seems like this is an interrogation. It does seem quite serious. Because it is. We need to talk about the truth. The truth behind how you currently come across to other people. The truth behind how you currently communicate. Let's talk about the truth. In order to talk about this, I want to share with you me when I was at the start of my speaking career. There was a speaking engagement I had in Sydney where I was speaking for a building association. And I remember going on stage feeling very nervous because this was the first time I've ever spoken professionally and was paid for it. So I got on stage, I delivered what felt like was a blur. And then when I walked off stage, the event organizer was standing there waiting for me. And I thought, oh God, she didn't like it. And then I shook her hand and she said,
"Oh wow, Vin, that was amazing. You did great. Thank you so much."
And I thought, I'm brilliant. So I then went to sit down and continued to feel chuffed with myself. Couldn't wait to call my mum and tell her how brilliant I was. And I decided to stay. Because I thought, if I stay at the end of the conference, maybe I'll get some more praise from the audience. Yeah, I didn't have very high levels of self-esteem back then. So what happened was I sat there for the entire conference, and as a result, I watched a bunch of other speakers. And the speaker that was directly after me, there was this specific moment where something truly traumatizing happened. Because when I was watching him on stage, he wasn't very good. I'm just going to be rather transparent here, rather boring, monotonous, and said a lot of ums and ahs. And then he got off stage, and because I was off stage, I also saw the event organizer there waiting for him. So I'm like, oh, here we go. She's gonna give it to him. I can't wait to see this. The more I recall this story, the more I start to realize I'm a terrible person. And then what happens next is he walks down, she shakes his hand, and I'm like, oh, she's just being polite, but get ready for what's about to come. And then what happens next, it sickens me. I still find it quite traumatizing until today. Because what happens next was the handshake occurs, she looks at him, she's smiling, and I thought that was rather odd. You're smiling before you say something negative to someone. Gosh, that's serial killer vibes. And then she says,
"Oh my goodness, that was amazing, that was fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us at the conference."
What? You said the same thing to me. The reason why I shared this story with you is simply because of this. People are not going to tell you the truth when it comes to how you communicate, how you did in a presentation. They're just not going to tell you the truth. Just like how that event organizer didn't tell that guy the truth and also didn't tell me the truth. Let's face it, that was my first keynote I ever did. I knew there were things wrong with the keynote. However, she just didn't have the heart to tell me. She was afraid to tell me. And that bit right there is what we often don't talk about. We are afraid to tell people how we truly feel about their performance. And we're afraid to do this because we don't want to hurt their feelings. Let me tell you this from years of experience. The only thing that people will give you feedback on is your rate of speech. The only thing that people will ever give you feedback on is they'll say, "Look, if I had to give you feedback, the only thing I would say is, I thought you were speaking a little bit quickly." And that's the only thing they'll say, even if they notice 3 or 4 other things that you could do to improve. They're not going to tell you. Now here's the truth that I wanted to get to. There's 2 parts to it. The first part is that most people don't know how to give feedback in a way that's going to be well received. And chances are you don't know how to receive feedback. I can give you an example right now. Let's say that someone was giving me some feedback and sharing their thoughts with me. When I first started to receive feedback, this is what happened. I'd listen to them and they'd say to me, "You touch your glasses a lot, you do it like 50 times in an hour and it's really distracting." And then the second thing you do is some of the magic tricks, it doesn't really connect with the point you're talking about, and then that also becomes, "No, please keep sharing. This is good. I want this." "Okay, it just doesn't really seem like you want to listen to me. I don't know why are you vibrating like that?" The reason why we do this is simply because the majority of the time when we're asking for feedback, what we're actually asking for is praise. And one of the main reasons for that is because your voice is your personality. Your voice is your personality. This is a piece of wisdom that one of my vocal coaches taught me. And when you receive feedback on your personality, it feels like a personal attack. That's why you have to go to a workshop, spend time with an expert, be in the right space, right environment, and right frame of mind. Don't go asking randoms who are not experts in this particular field. You're not going to ask a random about nutrition advice or medical advice. You'd go talk to a doctor and you talk to a nutritionist. Make sure you go and ask the right person. Ask an expert. Now, if you're going to ask a random anything, and you're going to ask people anything after a presentation, if you have enough self-awareness to go, I didn't think that presentation was very good, instead of saying, hey, do you have any feedback for me? What you can ask is the following.
Hey, look, I feel like communication is an area I should probably improve. Do you think it's something I should do?
If you want feedback for the purpose of improving your communication skills and you're not looking for praise, then the best place to get this is to get it from an expert. No one wants to be mean, no one wants to tell you the truth. So instead of putting all that pressure on people, look for a communication expert, a communication teacher, a communication coach. Attend a workshop, because then you're putting yourself in the right space, the right frame of mind to receive that feedback. Outside of that environment, it's very difficult to accept and receive feedback. And that is how you actually can improve your communication skills. And that's it. That's the truth. That's the dramatic thing I really wanted to talk to all of you about. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have you had people tell you the truth? If you've got any questions, please do leave them in the comment section below. Looking forward to seeing all of you in the video next week.